What is the cooking process like? You're just basically boiling it down. Right?
I went out and got a fryer, which is like a stand. You attach it to a propane tank.
Yep.
And then it's got it's a wide open tray, and then it came with the 2 fryers where you would put like fries in it.
Yeah.
But then I didn't use that, obviously. I just put the sap into that big container. It's important that it's wide open because the more surface area, the more you can evaporate off faster. But even with that, it still took 17 hours to get 16 gallons of sap down to 1 gallon of sap.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was quite a lengthy
Because you have
process.
to maintain a perfect temperature.
And you can't just like, oh, it's going. It'll be going for a while. Like it could, wind comes. It blow your fire out. It could boil over. There's all sorts of things. So you have to watch it. You have to maintain the temperature.
Makes you wonder, how they sell maple syrup for so cheap. Although if you buy real maple syrup, it's not.
Yeah.
Well,
that maple syrup's corn syrup.
Yeah. Aunt Jemima.
Even the real stuff. So like I went and had a 5-gallon bucket attached to a tube that I plugged into a tree with a hole, basically. They do where they connect the trees with hoses, and then it all goes downhill into one central like vat where they're collecting like thousands of gallons.
I think that's what we used to have in our basement.
And then it goes on a truck into this big like facility where they have these huge things that just boil off.
Yeah.
It's so much sap.
That's interesting.
I made a YouTube video on that.
So it's like boiling down
So
and
did
you're
he.
filling it back up.
Yep.
And then you just same process till you're done.
You just keep adding until you get down to next to nothing. And then once I got down to, it was probably about 2 gallons. Then I took it inside. House is a little dry in the winter anyways, so it's not like the end of the world. You don't want to boil off all of that in your house because now you've got 16 gallons worth of steam in your house and you're mold or something. I don't know.
Hep
So
C.
once I can fit it in one pot, I bring it inside. You got a more consistent heat source on the stove, and then you're right next to all of your clean implements for canning it and whatever else.
Nice.
So I took it, canned that was probably about 6 cups. And then I took the leftovers and made candy with it. And when you make candy with sugar, it's all about temperature. The syrup needs to be 219 degrees or 7 degrees above boiling temperature of water. So it might be slightly different, but roughly 219. To make soft candy, you need to get it up to 245. So you're boiling it pretty good. You got to watch because it'll boil over once you get up past that, because it's got a lot of water in it when it's still sap. So when it's boiling, it can't really get that far above 212 because it would need to boil off the water before it can get above that. The water keeps it at that 212 degrees.
Like Earth.
Yeah. And then once you have enough water out, then it starts creeping up, and I got to 245. That makes soft candy, like a fudge or something kind of like that. And then if you take it up to 300, then you're making hard candy. So I took it out in bits, and I made 2 different kinds of candy.
Sorry.
They say that you can drink the sap directly out of the tree because it's like super clear, and it's basically just water that came out of the tree. Interesting fact that I didn't know about is how it makes the sap during summer when it's collecting water and minerals from the ground and sunlight and doing its thing. It makes starch that it stores in the roots. And then during the wintertime, when it doesn't have access to that because it's frozen, the spring starts, the temperature starts coming up, and it takes that starch and starts converting it to sugar. And then that goes up and down the tree.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh my
Give me
gosh.
that. Don't let him have any more.
This is the stuff I was talking about.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fudge.
So this is what is this called?
It's maple soft candy.
So the beginning texture is like okay and kind of like powderizes.
Mm-hmm. It's like peanut butter fudge.
But then the back end flavor is where it's at. It's like after 3 seconds something takes place.
So
Yeah.
Tastes like golden
there's
grams.
someone at the Renaissance Festival who sells like jars of it. It is
Both?
so good.
Both at
Oh
245.
my gosh.
Both at 245 and at 300. It's like it'll take 4 or 5 minutes for you to get from the 219 to the 245, and then as soon as you hit like 242, 243, it's like, and it'll start going up quick. So you got to watch it. I think this one hit maybe like 248, 249.
New key, you let it melt.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the chocolate on Kit Kats, how if you let it melt, it's better.
We were
Nice.
just talking about that.
Yeah, no, well, you got a bad batch.
Yeah, I did. It sucked.
Oh my
I
gosh.
bought the mini bag of
This
mini
soft
Kit Kats.
candy. So people in our vlog will learn how to make this soft candy. Oh my gosh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh my gosh, is that tasty?
Need some of that crack rock.
Oh my gosh. Now I saw this how to make this in Breaking Bad.
But it was blue. Could you explain how you make it brown?
Jeffrey.
Gimme.
The glass might be
And this
better.
is from where I. So what's kind of special about this is what we're eating comes from where I shot my very first deer. And this was at Flat Top, right?
Yeah, I only made just what was left over of the syrup that didn't go into jars, so we could try it.
Oh.
What I think is nice about it is people don't think a lot about syrup, but to me the syrup is a lot like shooting a deer. Like you can go to the store and buy meat, but if you shoot a deer and clean it and do it all yourself, it means more to you. You're more excited about when things turn out with it once you cook with it. And it's the same here. Like all that effort went into boiling it down. I learned how to do the candy, put
I
it all
want to take
together.
a little piece for Lily because she was.
I didn't put any powdered sugar on the hard candy, so don't let it get warm because it'll stick together.
Oh my gosh, this is good.
I want to get more syrup now.
Makes you want to get into more syrup.
Yeah.
That's straight golden grams.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
gosh,
good.
that
Which
is
is funny that you wouldn't think that like there is a different flavor between the different things. Even the syrup tastes a little bit different
It
than
did.
these things.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's very interesting.
I really, 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 really like it.
No.
I also like it because that's nature's candy. Like there's no preserve. It's just the syrup, right?
It's straight water and sugar, and you boil it until the water goes away, and all you're
But
left with
sugar
is,
from the syrup.
all you're left with is the sugar.
I mean, it's that soft candy is the weirdest, coolest thing ever. But the hard candy is just tasty. Like it's just good. Man,
What makes it soft? That's what I don't get.
So when
the
you
temperature.
the hard candy,
But it goes
You
from
just-
syrup to soft candy to hard candy?
So with the
I
hard,
don't know,
with the
dude.
hard candy, you cook it, and the more you cook it, the higher temperature you cook it at, the more as it cools back down, the sugars crystallize and make crystalline structures, and the harder and more brittle it's going to be. With the soft candy, you cook it to 245, which is in between syrup and hard candy, but you let it cool back down to 180. So it starts making those crystals, and then you mix it for 5 minutes. So you're putting in air, you're breaking up some of the crystalline structure, so you end up with what's basically a spreadable, it's kind of like peanut butter, honestly.
Yeah.
And then you spread that, and then it hardens, recrystallizing some, but you're breaking up some of the...
He's in there in whitey tighties, rubber boots, and like the full suit, like Breaking Bad.
Come
His
with
what-
me,
Yeah.
and you'll be...
His wife comes
Wonka.
in. He goes, "I am the danger, Skyler."
He's got the ventilator on his mask.
So that will be vlog. What number, Ryan? 10? 11?
11.
So that will be a vlog 11. Watch for it. We'll post it on our social media platforms, but you can find it on our YouTube channel and eventually on Carbon TV. But vlog.